Home Depot is selling what they call a Barndominium kit for under $20,000. Lowe's has one too. And if you've been on TikTok for more than 5 minutes, you've probably seen someone tell you that you can buy your dream home off a shelf at your local hardware store for less than the price of a used pickup truck. I bought into that story. So I spent the last few days pulling the actual 2026 listings, the actual square footage, the actual fine print, from both companies. And what I found is not what the influencers are telling you. There's a twist in this comparison that changes everything, and it involves both of these competing companies selling you basically the exact same product under two very different names. Stick with me to the end, because the final number, what it actually costs to make one of these livable, is going to save some of you from a very expensive mistake. Before we get into it, hit subscribe now, because I'm building out a whole series testing under 40K home and land claims you see online, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. Okay, let's get into the numbers. What are we even talking about? Quick definition, because the word barndominium gets thrown around loosely online. A real barndominium is a livable home built inside a barn-style metal or wood shell, open floor plan, high ceilings, usually a big shop or garage space attached. Built from scratch with a contractor, national data for 2026 puts the average finished barndominium at right around $230,000, with most people landing somewhere between $65 and $160 per square foot for a standard finish. Premium builds can blow past $200 a square foot. That's the real-world number. Now keep that in your head, because it's about to matter a lot when we look at what Home Depot and Lowe's are actually selling for under $40,000. The Home Depot listing. Here's what got everyone's attention this year. Home Depot has a product line from a manufacturer called Best Barns, and inside that line is something called the Crafted Colossal series. Home Depot's own product pages literally use the word barndominium in the title, not shed, not storage building, barndominium. The specs. It comes in two sizes, 28 by 16 feet and 32 by 16 feet. The bigger one gives you about 512 square feet on the ground floor, plus a full second floor above it, with a loft, a pre-cut staircase, and insulated windows. You can pick a walk-in man door or wide transom doors, and there's an optional dormer kit that adds headroom and light to the second story. The siding is engineered wood, insect-resistant, primed and ready for paint. The price on the 32-foot Crafted Colossal with the dormer kit comes in right around $19,847, under 20 grand, for a two-story structure with more square footage than plenty of studio apartments. That is a genuinely wild headline number, and it's the number every single barndominium under 40K video on the internet right now is built around. But, and this is the first crack in the story, read the actual product description. It says you're responsible for assembly. It says paint, shingles, and roofing materials are not included. It says to check with your local permit office before you even order it. There's no mention of insulation for living purposes, no electrical, no plumbing, no HVAC, no interior walls, no flooring finish. What you're buying is a wood shell, a very nice, very large, two-story wood shell. The Lowe's listing, here's where it gets interesting. Now here's the part that made me stop and recheck my research 3 times. Because I genuinely didn't expect it. Lowe's sells what looks like the identical product. Same manufacturer, Best Barns. Same Crafted Colossal series, 16 by 32 feet, 2 stories, insulated windows, pre-cut stairs, engineered wood siding with the same 50-year warranty against rot and insects. The price at Lowe's? $19,486. That's about $360 cheaper than Home Depot's version, which is close enough to call a wash once you factor in shipping variability and regional pricing. But here's the twist I promised you. Lowe's does not call this a barndominium anywhere on the product page. Not once. Lowe's lists the exact same Best Barns 2-story building as a wood outdoor storage shed. Same manufacturer, same dimensions, same second-floor loft, same staircase, filed under sheds and outdoor storage, not homes, not barndominiums, not living space. So here's what's actually happening. This is not 2 competitors racing to build you the cheapest tiny home. This is one manufacturer, Best Barns, selling the same product through 2 different retail pipelines, and Home Depot chose to market it with a trending keyword that people are searching for in 2026, while Lowe's kept the honest, boring, accurate label It's a shed. That single branding choice is the entire reason this comparison exists on YouTube right now. It's not a product difference, it's an SEO difference. If this is surprising you even a little bit, wait until you see the actual cost to turn either of these into somewhere you could legally sleep every night, because that number is where most of the under 40K Barndominium content online completely falls apart. I'll show you exactly what that looks like in a minute. If you're finding this useful, drop a like right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more people who are about to make the same mistake. What under 40K actually buys you? Honestly, let's do the real math, because this is the part every clickbait thumbnail skips. Say you buy the Home Depot or Lowe's version at roughly $20,000. You are now the proud owner of an unpainted, unplumbed, unwired, uninsulated wood shell sitting in a box on a pallet in your driveway. Here's what standard 2026 cost data says you still need to add. Foundation or a proper slab, depending on your region and soil, this alone commonly runs several $1,000s, and permit offices will often require an engineered foundation before they'll even sign off on residential use. Insulation and interior framing for a livable space. This is not included in either kit. Spray foam or batt insulation across roughly 1,000 square feet of combined floor space, plus interior stud walls, adds real money fast. Electrical and plumbing. If you want lights, outlets, a bathroom, and a kitchen, you're hiring licensed trades. This is one of the most underestimated costs in every single one of these online Barndo under 40K videos. Windows, doors, siding paint, and roofing. Remember, Home Depot's own listing says shingles and paint are not included. That's not a small add-on. That's thousands more dollars before the building is even weatherproof. Site delivery, site prep, and permits. Get quoted before you order, not after. Plenty of buyers report their local jurisdiction wouldn't approve residential occupancy for a shed-classified structure at all, regardless of what it looks like inside. When you stack all of that against the kit price, you are not landing anywhere close to $40,000 for something you can legally live in full-time. Industry data on turning a bare kit shell into a finished home puts the total add-on cost, on top of the shell, anywhere from $25,000 to over $90,000 depending on finish level. Even on the extreme low end of that range, doing every bit of labor yourself, you are pushing past that $40,000 number the moment you add plumbing and electrical to code. So here's the honest verdict on the headline claim. The $20,000 sticker price is real. The building itself is real, and by shed standards, it is an impressive one. But calling it a Barndominium under $40,000, fully livable, is not accurate. It's a shell under $20,000, and a livable home is a much bigger number sitting on top of that. Let's put a rough real-world scenario on it, so this isn't just abstract math. Someone buys the 32 by 16 crafted colossal for around $20,000. They pour a basic slab foundation, which in a lot of markets runs somewhere in the $4,000 to $8,000 range for a footprint this size. They hire a licensed electrician to run a panel, outlets, and lighting through both floors, which is commonly another $5,000 to $10,000 depending on your area. They add a bathroom and a small kitchen hookup, which pulls in a plumber, another meaningful chunk of money. They insulate the walls and roof so it's actually comfortable in winter and summer. They drywall or panel the interior. They put down real flooring, and they finally buy the paint and shingles Home Depot told them up front were not included. By the time all of that is done, most owner-builders land somewhere between $55,000 and $80,000 total, even doing a good chunk of the labor themselves to save money. Hire out everything, and it climbs well past that. None of this makes the kit a bad purchase. It makes the phrase under $40,000 a headline about the shell, not a promise about the finished home, and that distinction is exactly what most videos on this topic never explain. So, is there any way to actually get a Barndominium under 40K? I want to be fair here, because the dream itself isn't fake. The marketing around these two specific products is what's misleading. Actual Barndominium kit companies, the ones building true, code-compliant residential shells with pre-drilled plumbing and electrical chases, price their materials-only kits between $20 and $50 per square foot. On the small end of that, a genuinely tiny footprint, something in the 600 to 800 square foot range, could land you a real shell kit somewhere in the $30,000 to $40,000 zone. But you're still adding assembly labor, foundation, and finishing on top, exactly like with the Home Depot and Lowe's sheds. There is no version of this, from any manufacturer, in 2026, where $40,000 gets you a fully finished, move-in ready Barndominium home. The national data is consistent across every source I checked. A truly finished, permitted, livable Barndominium averages around $230,000, with most builds landing between $112,000 and $500,000, depending on size and finish. If your actual goal is a legit tiny guest house, a she shed, a man cave, a workshop with a sleeping loft, or a rental cabin that doesn't need full residential permitting, the Home Depot and Lowe's Best Barns kits are genuinely a great value at around $20,000. That's the honest use case. Just don't walk in expecting a permitted second home. Side-by-side receipts. Let's put it on screen so there's no confusion. Same manufacturer, same series, same footprint. Listed as, Home Depot says wood Barndominium kit. Lowe's says wood outdoor storage shed. Manufacturer, Best Barns for both. Series, crafted colossal for both. Size, 32 feet by 16 feet, 2-story, for both. Ground footprint, about 512 square feet for both. Price, Home Depot about $19,847. Lowe's about $19,486. Includes assembly? No, for both. Includes paint or shingles? No, for both. Includes plumbing or electrical? No, for both. Same product. Roughly a $300 spread. One word doing all the marketing work. A few things people always ask me when I bring this up, so let's knock them out fast. Can I get a loan for this like a real house? Generally, no. Most mortgage lenders want a permitted, code-compliant residential structure before they'll finance it as a home, which means you're usually paying cash or using a personal loan for the kit itself. Will my county even let me live in it? Depends entirely on your local zoning and building department, and this is genuinely the first phone call you should make before you spend $1. Some counties are Barndominium friendly. Some will only permit it as an accessory structure, not a primary residence. Is the quality actually good for the price? By shed and outbuilding standards, yes. The engineered wood siding, the 2x6 truss system, and the wind and snow load ratings on these Best Barns kits are legitimately solid specs for the price point. The issue was never build quality. It's the gap between the marketing word and the finished home reality. The verdict: Home Depot versus Lowe's. So who actually wins this comparison? On pure price, Lowe's edges out Home Depot by a few $100s on the identical structure. On selection and marketing clarity, Home Depot wins, because at least they're using the search term people are actually looking for, even if it oversells what the product really is. On honesty, Lowe's technically wins, because calling it a shed instead of a Barndominium is, frankly, the more accurate label. But the real winner of this whole investigation is you, now that you know both companies are selling the same Best Barns product, and that the words on the listing page matter more than you'd think. Compare based on the actual specs and your actual zip code pricing, not the headline word in the title. If you made it this far, you now know more about these two listings than 90% of the videos currently on YouTube claiming you can own a Barndominium for under 40 grand. That's not a knock on the creators, it's just that most of them stopped at the sticker price and never opened the actual product page. If this saved you from an expensive surprise, subscribe, because next up I'm pricing out what it actually costs, foundation to move in, to turn one of these Best Barns kits into a legitimately livable guest house from a real contractor quote, and that number might shock you even more than this one did. Drop a comment and tell me, would you actually buy one of these as a shell and finish it yourself, or is this still too much of a gamble? See you in the next one. End.